We love serving this beautiful community. This is faith in action.
My husband Jake and I had built a life rooted deeply in the rich, sun-warmed soil of suburban California. For over 15 years, our boutique landscape and estate gardening service, Eden's Touch, was the quiet pride of our affluent neighborhood. We were never merely laborers who trimmed hedges and mowed lawns. We were artisans of the earth, highly regarded for our profound understanding of botanical architecture, soil ecology, and native plant revival. To our community, we became an indispensable institution, trusted with the keys to expansive estates and the care of historic gardens. Our service was a direct manifestation of our shared values: honesty, meticulous craftsmanship, and an unshakable faith in God that guided how we treated every client, every employee, and every living thing. Jake possessed an extraordinary intuitive mastery over physical cultivation, while I complemented his practical brilliance with my organizational wisdom and a vibrant, unyielding spiritual foundation that anchored our home and business. Our sterling reputation made us the premier choice for the region's most prestigious project, the restoration of the sprawling, historic Claremont Estate Gardens. It was a massive contractual opportunity that promised to cement our legacy and secure our financial future for decades. Jake threw his entire soul into the project, designing complex, sustainable irrigation systems and sourcing rare heirloom flora to return the estate to its century-old grandeur. However, our dream quickly twisted into a professional nightmare when Jake inadvertently uncovered a massive environmental violation hidden beneath the surface of the estate. During a deep soil excavation near the property line, his equipment struck buried, decaying storage drums. Analytical testing revealed that a powerful, banned corporate chemical solvent was actively leaching into the suburban water table, posing an immediate toxic threat to our entire community. When Jake presented his findings to the estate's powerful developer, a man with deep political connections and immense wealth, he expected immediate corrective action. Instead, he was met with a cold, calculated demand for absolute silence. The developer made it clear that revealing the contamination would halt a multi-million-dollar residential expansion project, and he offered Jake a massive financial bribe to falsify his soil reports and cover up the hazard. Grounded in his Christian integrity, Jake flatly refused, telling him that his faith would never allow him to endanger the lives of the families in our community. The developer's expression shifted from corporate negotiation to pure malice, delivering a chilling ultimatum. If Jake did not bury the report, the developer would completely bury Jake's career. True to his threat, the developer unleashed a swift, highly coordinated smear campaign designed to isolate my husband and destroy Eden's Touch overnight. Falsified documents, staged photographs, and manufactured testimonials were systematically leaked to our high-profile clients and local neighborhood forums. The fabricated narrative claimed that Jake had been caught using illegal, highly toxic pesticides on residential properties and had intentionally contaminated a client's private well to extort them for remediation fees. The fallout was immediate and devastating. Within a single week, the community that had loved and relied on us for 15 years turned completely hostile. Long-term contracts were abruptly canceled without explanation. Our business insurance was pulled due to the pending liability allegations, and my husband found himself formally blacklisted across the entire California landscaping network. The psychological weight of the blacklisting hit Jake with crushing force, plunging him into a severe, paralyzing depression. He was a man whose entire identity was tied to his work ethic, his ability to provide, and his spotless integrity. Watching his name dragged through the mud and seeing our bank accounts empty rapidly under the weight of mounting legal defense fees shattered his confidence. He could barely bring himself to look at his gardening tools, feeling a profound sense of betrayal from the very community he had sought to protect. He spent his days in our dark living room, consumed by anxiety, convinced that human malice had completely overridden our years of faithful service and that our life's work was permanently ruined. It was in this dark season of absolute professional paralysis that the fierce, unshakable faith God gave me became the sovereign lifeline that pulled Jake through. While human logic dictated that we should pack up, file for bankruptcy, and flee the hostile suburb, I refused to concede defeat to a lie. I recognized that this was not merely a legal or financial battle, but a spiritual assignment that required a demonstrative, active faith in action. I stood in our quiet kitchen one evening, looked at my broken husband, and boldly declared that no weapon formed against our integrity would prosper, and that the truth of God would shatter the deception of man. I completely took over the spiritual and administrative reins of our household, establishing an uncompromising atmosphere of prayer and praise in a home that had been choked by silence and fear. I initiated a rigorous daily routine of scriptural immersion and physical action that defied our grim reality. Every single morning at dawn, when Jake felt too weak to move, I pulled him out of bed, led him to the kitchen table and opened the Bible. I systematically read aloud the promises of divine vindication, covenant protection and supernatural abundance, forcing Jake to listen until the living word began to penetrate his despair. I refused to allow a single word of complaint, doubt, or defeat to be spoken within our walls. I understood that faith without works is dead, so I did not just pray in secret. I forced a practical realignment of our actions to match our spiritual expectations. I made Jake clean his tools, service the trucks, and organize our equipment every afternoon. We were preparing for work we did not yet have, acting in absolute confidence that God was already orchestrating our breakthrough. To demonstrate our faith in action to the entire community, I designed 5 short, powerful, alliterated prayer affirmations that Jake and I declared aloud together 3 times a day, standing right on our front porch where the neighbors could see our posture of praise.
Father, let your righteous recompense ruin every malicious lie and restore our reputation.
Lord, let your divine direction deliver dynamic doors of increase that no man can shut.
Also, we fondly prayed this. Lord, let heavenly harvests heal our hurting household, bringing holy abundance to our estate. Father, let your perfect peace paralyze every panic-filled prediction, proving your power is paramount. These affirmations became our daily weapon, successfully shifting Jake's focus from the hostility of the blacklist to the sovereignty of God's covenant promises. As we persisted in this disciplined rhythm of declaration and preparation, the spiritual atmosphere over our lives broke, shifting from a season of drought to an avalanche of supernatural vindication. Our breakthrough began when an independent investigative journalist, digging into local zoning anomalies, uncovered the developer's hidden environmental violations. The journalist obtained internal communications showing the explicit plot to frame my husband for corporate whistleblowing. The bombshell report was published on a major news outlet, completely exposing the developer's corruption and fully exonerating Jake and Eden's touch. The public realization of Jake's heroic sacrifice to protect the suburban water table transformed our community's hostility into profound remorse and overwhelming gratitude. The momentum of our active faith quickly translated into an unprecedented business expansion that far eclipsed what we had lost. The very clients who had canceled our contracts returned to our doorstep with deep apologies, offering doubled retainers to secure Eden's touch for their estates once again. The local city council even awarded Jake a prestigious community commendation and a massive, exclusive municipal contract to oversee the ecological restoration of the public parks and waters. Jake and I stood together before a crowded town hall, cheered by the very neighbors who had once turned away. It stands as a powerful testament to the truth that when human efforts are completely blacklisted, an uncompromising reliance on the living Word of God releases a supernatural vindication that turns trials into a triumphant legacy.